card later this
Oh,
month.
I saw
Yeah.
that. It even told me.
At
I was
least it
like,
didn't go up.
yeah.
I think it might be sending the email to
Well,
technorama at chuckchat.com.
they've been adding features right and left.
Yeah, but none that we want.
Not
I still wish
exactly.
they had an API.
No, but
It's like,
well,
it's been like 5 years, and I still don't have any APIs to automate any of this.
oh, they never had one at all?
Nope.
Hmm, okay.
Very disappointing.
Well,
Like, what
it's kinda like Evernote, I'm not really using Evernote so much anymore, but I still have it open because I have some things in there I need to, I refer to. But, Bending Spoons has been adding features to Evernote right and left. I mean, it has really changed that since it
cashed in on that over a year ago.
I know,
Fancy
but I'm just
smart.
saying, it's like StreamYard. It's like, wow, they've been adding features right and left. Little, hey, here's this, here's
I
that. You can
just
add the chat to
want
the
some
screen.
API so I can automate this stuff.
Did you give them some feedback?
Oh, we became an enterprise customer at work in hopes of having
Oh,
a voice for that, and they still didn't listen.
right.
It's like, well, that was $10,000
I don't
not
know.
well spent.
They've been doing a lot of stuff. Maybe you should run that up the flagpole again.
Oh, it's been run. They know it's there.
I'm sure. I'm sure other people want it as well, not just yourself.
It's in the backlog. What kind of web-based service company doesn't have APIs is my question.
Not many. Because I would add that to my workflow. Hey, add,
Exactly.
yeah. Well, the only problem with that is I have to generate the thumbnail and upload the thumb. I guess there's ways to do that, but
Not a yeah, and I could do that with a curl command, Craig.
girl. Oh,
It's usually the way I start testing APIs. Like, does this endpoint really work? Does my API key really work?
all right. So I did something probably a little stupid the other day. What I did was you were just talking about using Gemini from the command line,
Yes.
and so it's really good at reading Markdown files because of just text. So I've been using Obsidian. Of course, it's all Markdown files. I went, you know what? I'm gonna make a copy of my Obsidian folder and run Gemini in it. And I did. And it was like, okay, so what do you know about me? Once it read all the files and all that stuff. And it was actually pretty accurate. Oh, I can see that uh it mentioned the podcast that we do and the interest Star Trek and this and that. I was like, oh, that's pretty weird and cool. I mean, I asked for it, so I
Yep.
can't say it's creepy. I asked for it.
I'm not sure I'd let it in. That's
Well,
just
I don't really have passwords or nothing like that in there. So, and it's really and anything it's in my notes. It's like, hey, we went to dinner with so and so and so and so. Hey, I did this and this, and then there's not a lot of personal information like PII kind of. Here's my phone number and here's my password kind of stuff.
yeah.
So I wasn't too worried about that, but I just wanted to see what it would do. And yeah, I just thought it was really cool how it came away with a kind of an accurate idea of about me.
Should we do our podcast?
No, not now. I'm opening up.
It's an hour later than it usually is for me because you all changed your clocks again.
Well, I didn't mean to.
You didn't mean to. It was an accident.
Hey, actually, you know what? This is really the first time that the clocks changed and almost nothing had to manually be filled with.
We had a power outage this week. I was going to say we had to change our clocks in because we had a power outage. We had the solar panels activated this week.
Oh,
And we
really?
should probably put this in the audio recording. Hold on. It's
Yeah.
nerdy enough that we're going to do that.
Okay, let's start the show and we'll talk about it.
In 3, 2, 1. Technorama episode 787. Artificially unintelligent. Hello and welcome back to Technorama, the show that takes a lighthearted look at tech, science, sci-fi, and all things geek. If this is your first time joining us, welcome to the show. If you're a returning guest, welcome back. We appreciate you giving us your time. My name is Chuck Tomasi from Phoenix, Arizona, and right over there is Craig Stepp in
Hey,
North Carolina,
yes.
waving in the right direction.
Yeah, I'm waving.
This is
I'm
this
motioning in
would
the
be
right
like
direction.
this
Hey,
would
wait,
be like when your wife reminds you to put in the dryer
you
sheet
can't see
every
my
time.
hand, so you don't know what signals I'm giving you.
Yeah, I got you a signal right here. The off-camera hand gestures.
Yeah.
It's like this.
Yeah.
All right. How you been?
I've been pretty good.
Quite a week.
Yeah, it has been a week. Well, actually, this week, for me, is catching up after PTO. You know how much fun that is. You
Little
know,
PTO.
yeah,
Wah,
no,
wah, wah. Oh, sorry.
not
Wrong
the
song.
Beach Boys. No, going through your emails and all that stuff. It it's a little overwhelming. Actually, I think
I don't have that problem anymore.
I know you don't, but I checked my email and it was like I had 1,500 emails since the week I was gone for 2 weeks.
Mhm.
And I've had 1,500 emails since then. I was like,
Delete, delete, delete,
ugh.
delete, delete. You had
Well,
remote access. You were texting me and stuff. You could have just jumped in and every morning gone, delete, delete, delete. I'll get it when I get back. Delete, delete, delete. I'll
no,
get it when I get
that was
back.
a point. Actually, I did turn on. Okay, so my phone has a work profile and
Yes.
it has the work email and all that stuff. So I turned it on only to really message a couple of people that I know that live in the UK,
Mhm.
and I was like, "Well, hey, I'm in your time zone." That's what, yeah, kind of thing. And I'll open it up, and of course, mail, 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 mail. I started getting notifications like, okay, I didn't want to get all these things, so I did my couple of messages and left it at that. But yeah, when I got home, well, there was a message about a reorg. I was like, "What?" So I got a little reorg while I was gone, but I tried not to worry about that until I got back. And so, but yeah, 1,500 emails. So I won't lie. I used the AI to try to comb through all that stuff. I said, "What's high priority? What should be on my radar, and all that kind of stuff."
Yeah. Did it help?
And you did, because honestly, there wasn't much in there um, that I needed to act on, because I guess there are other people working on that stuff too. So it wasn't just me. Yeah, I think it made it much easier to kind of comb through it all, and then I,
Nice.
and then I just select all and delete.
Well, welcome back. Hope you had a great time.
I did have a great time.
The actually you were back last week. We did a
Yeah,
show
we
last
recorded
week.
last week. Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. So it hasn't been like you just got back, but it probably took you all week to
no, but
digest
by
it.
the time when we were recording the show, I wasn't really I still wasn't looking at email and stuff. Figured I'll tackle it Monday morning when I get there, and so that's when I opened up Copilot, and Copilot is not great. There's some much better AI tools. As a matter of fact, on our trip, and I've told you this a little bit, is that each day the guide would put a piece of paper in the lobby
Mhm.
where it had kind of our agenda for today. And it's not the entire day. Usually it's like a half day for our group tour, and then you're on your own. So what I thought was I'd go down there, I'd take a picture of the paper, and I would say, "Hey, Gemini, add these to my calendar for today." And it did. So I ended up with a whole week. At the end of the week, I ended up with the whole week on my calendar with all the details of things we did. So then I was like, well, I can go back and write a little journal entry for myself.
Mhm.
And there's the things on my calendar. So I go, oh yeah, we did do that. Or I can look at my pictures as well. That also, it's kind of like journaling, I think, in a way. But so I was able to kind of reconstruct everything. It was really, really awesome. But then I can't. So flash forward, I'm at work on Monday. I see an email and it had a couple of dates on it that I thought maybe I should track that. So I took a screenshot and I said, "Hey, Copilot, add this to my calendar." Stupid thing would not do it no matter how I asked it. Copilot was stupid. It was like, I don't know what this is. I'm not kidding, but again,
That's
open
how
it.
Google gets with me sometimes. I'll tell my phone, create a task or set a task or whatever their favorite magic word of the week is, and it just won't do it. By that time, it's like, I could have just typed it.
Yeah, I know. But I'm loving the calendar stuff. Yeah, but I open up Gemini and say, add this to my calendar, and it's like, okay, done.
Yeah.
And it's on my personal calendar at that point. But
Copilot that's in VS Code does pretty good. I was duly impressed with that.
coding, I think it does really well. And you
Yeah.
can choose different different models for it to look at too.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. So yeah, Copilot and VS Code for coding is great. But like I said, add this to my calendar, and it's just didn't understand it. And I was like, man, I had such an easy time before. Ugh, it's funny.
We finally have the second set of solar panels online. This project, it feels like it began back in April, but it was probably June.
Oh,
Yeah.
wait, so a second set
Yeah.
that
So
worked?
we had solar, no, at home. Solar panels
I
added
know.
to our house in 2015, shortly after we moved in. And they put up 27 panels,
Mhm.
mainly on the front of our house. Oh, right, like right over my head, over these two rooms that are here. And that's been working all right. It was originally through Solar City, but they were bought out by Tesla, and they said if you lease it,
Mm.
then in 10 years you will replace the inverter. Well, they never have yet, and haven't made any attempt to try to replace it.
Okay.
And I think I can't remember the exact numbers, but the each panel was in like the 325 or 345 watt range. So, they've grown in efficiency. Well, these people came along later to Donna and said, oh, yeah, and there's this myth that, oh, if you make extra energy, you send it back and you get money by putting it on the grid. And we never got to that capacity because they
Yeah.
said, oh, we can't put that many on your house. There was some limitation or some nonsense.
Mm.
And so these people came around a few months ago and said, do you want to add more? And Donna said, what do you got? Well, we'll lease you some more. Will they incorporate with our existing setup? No. Is it a separate lease? Yeah.
No. Yeah.
You can't just like daisy chain these things together. So
Like,
we have
yeah, you come home and, like, your cat's walking around with a solar panel on its back, and all your
right.
chairs have,
The
solar panel.
sidewalk and
Yeah.
driveway are no solar
Your
panels.
daughter walks by, and she's got a solar panel on
Right.
her.
Well, they said we will also upgrade your electrical panel, and we've been looking to do that. We had an
Mhm.
inspection a few years ago, and the electrician said, yeah, there's a couple of things you want to do, but you really want to upgrade that electrical panel. It's original equipment, and I see some carbon scoring in here. It looked like,
Carbon scoring.
yeah, it looked like
You're like R2.
Han Solo. Yeah,
There's
looked like
some
Han Solo
heavy
had
carbon scoring in there. Yeah.
a misfire or two in there. The stormtroopers have been around my house, and uh, you know that alone was worth about 9 or 10K to get that all rewired and whatnot. Then they had to put up another inverter, which was about half the size of the original one 10 years ago, and another meter and another fuse box, like with a throw switch on it. So we got two of everything out there and a brand new big electrical panel. So the power company comes by and does their inspection, and they try to open the door on the panel, and it rubbed right against the new inverter. So you couldn't open it all the way. And they said, nope, you got to move the inverter. So solar company comes back, and this guy
About 2
spends
grand later.
all day moving it, about 10 feet to the right
Mhm.
so that the panel is non-obstructed, and they
Oh,
paint all the conduit
outside.
pipes.
Oh, I see. They were, like, beside each
Everything's
other?
outside. Yeah, they were side to side. They were butted up pretty close.
I gotcha.
So
Yeah.
he moved it over, and then we sit there and wait because the power company's gotta, like, come by and inspect it again. Then they come by and actually put the new meter on. So Wednesday morning, I forgot what it was. Uh, we're cruising through classroom time. I'm teaching online, and I hear ding dong, and I just had the students like start their 40-minute workshop,
Mhm.
hands-on lab. And I said, "Hang on, I'll be right back." I go get the door. Power company. We're gonna shut your power off for a little. I'm like,
What? Oh, no, wait.
you couldn't have scheduled this.
Yeah.
So I said, hang on. Yeah, how long? Oh, it'll only take me a minute. Well, it also takes time for the Wi-Fi to come back
Well,
up
yeah,
and
everything's so you're
everything to
talking like what, 10
stabilize.
minutes for everything to
Right.
settle down?
And Grantis is working. He's working
Oh,
online too.
mhm.
So I said, "Hey, Grantis, we got my son-in-law
Log
in the
off.
guest house." So he said, "Yeah, that's not a problem." So the guy shuts off the power, you know, does his thing, swaps out the meter, turns everything back on. Grantis and I are chit-chatting for a while everything comes back online. And now we have 21 more panels that are like 420 or something. They're like 30% more efficient than the old ones.
Mhm.
So Donna's got both apps loaded up on her. Within about an hour. She's like, "We've made 5 kilowatts already. We're up to 5.2." She's watching like a stock price or something.
Yeah, right. That's
So
pretty funny.
maybe now we'll get some money back from sending it into the grid. But the idea is really to lower the bills because electricity out here
Yeah,
is stupid expensive, especially when you're paying for AC in the summertime at peak hours. And so
yeah.
the more you can make on your roof, theoretically, the less you got to pay.
Can't you put some panels on that casita that you have out in the back?
The gazebo's too small, but the casita, the guest house, I talked about that, but I think that would require another panel and whatnot because you can't really run the conduit over there easily. So it would just be yet another inverter and meter and switch box. And the roof size for that isn't
No, I don't think the roof is
it
big enough.
isn't
I'm just
quite right.
guessing there.
You'd probably get about 6 panels
Mhm.
on there. So, you know,
I'm sorry.
yeah,
I was thinking about it when we were joking about your cat walking around.
yeah, pretty much. The lawn furniture, you're just laying on solar
Yeah.
panels.
Actually, maybe at some point I might look at that because since we lost so many trees because of the hurricane last
Yep.
year, I think I've got a good bit of sun coverage on our roof. I might be able to pull it off now, honestly.
Which way is your house setting?
I got to go and do some investigation, but sort of there's one side of the house that gets a lot of sun, especially in the
Okay.
morning to noon or maybe a little past noon.
Mhm.
So I might actually this building that I'm in, my office and the house both face the same directions and it gets a lot of sun during the morning hours. So I don't know, maybe
Maybe. All right. We haven't even begun our show, and we are
yeah, we
well
have.
with the chit chat.
I disagree.
That was our banter. Let's do the feedback. Let's see what everybody else has to say to us.
Okay.
Letters, oh, we get letters. We get your letters every day. Mailman, mailman, mail today.
Reach right in and pull that out.
I love those letters.
What the heck?
Let's find out what you
The Super Friends are delivering mail now.
There you go.
Meanwhile, in the Hall of Justice,
Right.
our question to you last time was before the internet made everything instantly available, what was your primary analog source for geeky information? Was it magazines, TV show, or would
Mhm.
TV show be analog? I guess if it before it was digital TV, or the sci-fi section of your local library.
I think we I
And
think I discovered a theme here.
about
Well, for the most part. Magazines. It looked like a lot of people got their information from
yeah,
magazines.
Lone Guys Night said Starlog. Tim Elliott said magazines and bulletin boards back in the
Mhm.
dial-up days. Stephen West says, seeing that we signed up for the internet when I was in 3rd grade. Yikes. I don't remember a time before it. We're getting old, Craig. John Cretcher
Uh,
says, all the above. Add hangouts and LAN parties.
you know
Uh,
what? Hey, by the way, that kind of comment, 3rd grade, in the internet. Just the other night, YouTube decided to surface me some videos from it's a as a okay, brace yourselves at first. It was a teenage girl. Her English is not her original language,
right.
and she was reacting to music, hearing it for the first time. So, imagine a teenager listening to Kashmir from Led Zeppelin. I was like, oh, You
You're
know, the
gonna have
first
to
time I experienced.
listen to one of Clinton's recent shows. He's been doing his pumpkin spice
Yes.
shows, and he had a clip from about 20 years ago with John Bell doing an ad like that. He said,
Oh yeah.
"Where you've seen the videos where kids are reacting to old technology,
Yeah.
and you've seen the reaction of old people reacting to modern technology. Well, we've taken it to old people reacting to kids reacting to old technology
Yeah.
and kids reacting to old people, and it just goes on and on, and pretty soon
Right.
it's not, you know, we've got dogs reacting to the number 12. Just
Right.
went right downhill really fast. It was very funny.
Well,
That's what
the
that
other,
reminded me of.
speaking of making you feel old, the other that well, my first time I reacted to Led Zeppelin was in what 84, 82, something like that.
Yeah.
Um, the the one that she reacted to that I thought was funny was Intergalactic from the Beastie Boys. She goes, "Wow, that was great!" And she's playing the video, of course, with it, and it looks like a Godzilla robot
Mhm.
movie. And so she goes, "I think this is something you could totally hear in a club
A
in
movie.
2025." I was like, "God." just just the absurdity of the time frame. It's just funny. I'm sorry.
All right, let's keep cranking through
Yeah.
these. Fritz says sci-fi section of the local library.
Mhm.
Spectrum der Wissenschaft, which is the German edition of Scientific American.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
The Venerable Byte magazine. It's a shame
Yes.
it doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah,
German
sure.
computer magazines Chip. Today it's not worth reading. Uh Computer Fairs, Hobbytronic at Dortmund, Germany, and CeBIT in Hanover, Germany. I think I remember hearing about CeBIT. CEBIT.
Yeah, I've heard that before. Yeah.
Television shows, mostly the Computer Club and the Hobby Tech. Divine Revelations. Just kidding. Divine what else? Tech TV. The screensavers with Leo and
I was gonna say that was probably
that was after the year 2000. So I don't know how far back in this you want to go.
yeah. Oh, yeah, Tech TV was a big one for me because I was like, "Oh, well, now they're talking about tech all the time." And so I
Who would
watched
have thought a whole channel dedicated, and then
yeah,
that got sucked up by
a
some
lot of the stuff that they talked about, was a little repetitive. Is It depends on what it was, but it was really cool to see some of the shows like the Screensavers, and there were some
yeah.
other ones on there that went a little more in depth into something. And the other day, I just watched a Tech TV, or I'm sorry, Screensaver clip with Linus Torvalds, and that was a rough interview, but interesting to see nonetheless. I remember watching that too, going, "Oh, Linus is going to be on Screensavers." Um, anyway, sorry.
Mike Robinson says Starlog and several other fan magazines whose names have been forgotten. This was the ancient times before AOL was conceived and offered 3.5-inch diskettes with 100 hours.
Yeah,
100 hours, man. They started out with like 10 hours. Sometimes it was through conversations on vacation, like when I heard about crazy people who repeatedly saw a movie when they threw toast and danced in the aisles.
Rocky Horror Picture Show. um, speaking of TV shows, something I just thought about
What's
that was predates the Screensavers was remember the Computer Chronicles?
Vaguely.
And they had some moments on that show that um really define the era. They were like, "Oh, we're looking at the new Macintosh, or we're looking at the new,"
Mhm.
certain things that really defined an era in the computing space. It was a little, probably at some points a little dry, but it was a good show. It was also one that I thought was a good source of information. But of course, magazines. I personally would go. I never had a. I never really had a magazine subscription,
Yeah.
but I would go to the bookstore and browse the magazines there. Maybe buy one or something like that, or I would buy books specifically on a topic, like PHP, or that I code in, or Linux. There are a lot of Linux stuff I bought.
Sometimes there'd be, like when I was in high school, we had to do some of our projects at the university, which was like half a mile away.
Hmm.
And I would hang out with some of the college students and I'd say, "Hey, Cliff, what are you working on? What are you learning? What are you doing?" He says, "Oh, I'm making this PDP-11 draw graphics." I'm like, "Really?"
Yeah. Then he
That
grabbed your
sounds
underwear.
brutal.
Then he grabbed your underwear and gave you a wedgie.
No, Cliff was cool. He had a brother Gordon too. I mean, and he helped me program Pascal on the apples.
That's
It's
cool.
just kind of a neat little mini mentorship
Mhm.
program. That was all cool until they realized that I was logged in as the department head on one of the systems.
Oh, change my grades.
Oh, well, it wasn't. I don't think there was anything but student projects or whatever because they had this shared hard drive
Hmm.
and there was no passwords on this thing. So I'm just like shoulder surfing and I walk by somebody and he logs in as TLS and he goes, so I said, well, let me try that and poke around and see what I can do. So I wasn't being intentionally a troublemaker, but a
Sure.
little while later, Cliff walks by and he sees me logged in and he says, "Does Dr. Setoff know that you're logged in on his account?" Like, logged in? I just type in some letters. This wasn't even a password protected
I
back.
know, right? Yeah. That's funny.
I said, "Oh, I guess I probably shouldn't do that. Can I get an account?" No, not really. Well, put a password in that thing or start calling me Bobby Tables.
Don't bother me with passwords.
We have some other answers on our Discord server. Brian Brown says, yeah, he did read Omni off and on for a while. When friends got rid of old issues. Otherwise, BBSs were the way.
Hmm.
See, but BBS is a digital technology. We were talking analog or something. Sweet
Well,
Steve says, I have some Swedish magazines, remembering sitting and hand typing long basic programs listed in the magazines.
mhm.
Hemdator hacking, translated to personal computer hacking. Dator Magazinet. I know I'm murdering your language here, Steve, so please forgive.
Yeah.
Translated to Computer Magazine. Amiga Forum, translated to Amiga Forum. Science Illustrated, translated to Science Illustrated. Swedish version started coming out in 1984 in Sweden. Then there was this old lady at the library. She was
Oh,
very invested in my sci-fi and fantasy reading. Still
okay.
miss her. She left us in 1999. I was at her funeral and a few others that she helped over the years. She
Wow.
showed me the world of Tolkien, Ursula K. Le Guin, Stephen Donaldson, Peter Straub, Stephen King, etc., etc. And almost immediately the Discworld.
Wow.
I was that scrawny kid with glasses, questionable social skills, acne, and funny hair.
Hey, we all were.
She was special.
And
I
look
had
at
the
me
funny
now.
hair. I had
Hey,
the hair nailed
hey,
down.
we all were like that, but look at me now.
I didn't have glasses till after college, but yeah, probably should have had them. Mad Marv says this question might be a bit too old for me. I don't think I had any geeky sources before the internet. I never subscribed to any of those magazines, and most of my sci-fi book collection started after I got an email address.
Wow. Well, that's all right.
All right. So lots of good answers on that one.
Hmm. That was fun.
A bit hit and miss in terms of our audience actually participating, but we'll have another one for you at the end of the show.
And it's funny how I started thinking back and went, wait, what about the Computer Chronicles? And
Yep.
there's another show, and I'm trying to think of too.
Well, every once in a while we come up with some of those old videos from the 80s or 90s. Go, the computer is making its way into everybody's home, and here's what you need to know.
Here's how you can navigate, using satellites. I was like, that video we did recently.
Yes. Hey, I got 2 more postcards from Yorga. I
Oh,
think that makes a
2?
total of 5. 2 more from Japan. I don't know if you can see him too well, but he's got this cool looking pagoda from Himisi. I'm gonna guess. I don't know my Japanese cities, but this is what I can figure out from Hiroshima.
Oh,
Look at
yeah.
this cool little thing out in the
Good
water.
one as well. There you go.
Ooh, Mount Fuji.
That's right.
So what does that make? A total of 5 from him? Man,
So,
got
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he had
Pick a
in all
card, any
fairness,
card.
in all fairness, he had my wrong address at first, so I
So
may have
they
missed
got
it.
to you.
So the people that bought my old house are like, "Who's Yorga?"
We also renewed our global entry in the last week or so.
Global entry. Oh, did you?
Yeah. So when you're coming back into the US, you basically walk through the fast pass line, get your picture taken, and they go, Charles Tomasi, and you go, you can go on through, so you don't have to mess around with customs or passport or anything. It's really nice when you're coming back into the country, except you get to the luggage carousel first, and the luggage isn't there, so you still have to wait while everybody else. So I guess the benefit is you can get to the bathrooms first.
Honestly, I don't have global entry. I never got that. I just had the TSA pre, and a lot of
This
times
includes pre. So if you get
I
global
understand
entry,
that.
you get pre.
But what I'm saying is that coming back into the country,
Yeah.
I'm still going through the TSA pre, and it seems like things go pretty quick. Even
TSA pre is on the way out.
huh?
You have global entry, and then you have US, and then you have your foreign customers. So your
Well, I'll get
US
that, but I'm
passport
saying
check.
I'm just saying at this time,
It's gotten a lot faster than it was in
the last
previous
the
years.
last
Yep.
coming back into the US,
Mhm.
it was like, oh, there's a TSA pre line. I went through it, and I was like, okay, maybe I need global entry? I don't know. I mean,
Well,
now,
the thing I didn't realize is mine expires on my birthday next year. So basically, I have 5 months to get this squared away.
yeah,
I said, well, due to all the government cutbacks, et cetera, and the shutdown that's currently going on, we better get on this and hope we get it by March.
yeah.
It came in about 4 days.
Oh, really?
I was shocked. Like, whoa. So now I'm good till 2031.
I had a similar situation with my passport. Not not for this last trip or anything, but it was like a couple years ago. Um, I was like, "Whoa, my passport's going to expire," so I was able to renew it.
Mhm.
I think I'd had to pay. I think I paid for the expedition. Excuse me, trying to get it to go through quickly, and I got it like super fast, and then I was kind of stressing out for nothing, to be honest with you. But the
You
time
never
frame.
know. Sometimes it can go quickly, and sometimes you don't want to run it down to the last minute and go, I'm traveling on Friday. My passport's expired.
Yeah. So TSA pre-check is going away?
No,
Would you just say that then?
no. I said, if you're traveling on Friday, you don't want to try and renew your passport in
Oh,
a few days.
oh no, absolutely not.
Yeah.
No, I mentioned earlier I had TSA pre, and you said, well, that's going away for global
No, I
entry.
said you get it for free. If you get global entry, you have
Yes,
TSA pre-check automatically.
that's correct. I
I did it in
understand
the
that.
wrong order the first time around. I got my TSA pre, and then I got my global entry. So I had both. And
Oh yeah,
and then I get these warnings, "Your TSA pre is about to expire." Like, "No, it's not."
right. No, I misunderstood you. I thought you said that TSA pre was going away. I think you were on your
Wait a
own.
day or 2. I'm sure our president will come up with some crazy news story about that too.
Mhm.
I swear he's watching Netflix and just comes up with a news story based on whatever he's watching.
Yeah.
Because there's a new show that I came across. I started watching it just before this started called A House of Dynamite, and it's about an incoming nuclear missile from unknown origin. And
Unknown origin.
the title starts out, yeah, because they couldn't detect the launch. It was
Hmm.
already in flight. And the titles come up before there's anybody on screen. It says, "After the Cold War, global leaders thought that it was time to reduce our nuclear arsenal. That era has ended." Like, and what did our president talk about just a few days ago?
Oh yeah.
Let's resume nuclear testing.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Half of the stuff he says doesn't even get
All
off
right.
further than Twitter. But hey, we're not going to go there. We're going to go to
No.
we're going to look back even further into history.
Yes.
On this day in history for November 5th, 2025. This is the 309th day of the year in the Gregorian calendar. There are 56 days remaining in 2025. Get out those Christmas lists. It was on this date in 1499 that the Catholicon, written in 1464 by Johann Lugendich Tréguier, I don't even know what country he's from,
I'm
was
not sure which.
published.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just slurring words.
Yeah.
I don't speak French. I just pronounce things in a
What
Frenchish
can
way.
you do?
This is the first Breton Dictionary, as well as the first French dictionary. $14.99 dictionaries came thing.
And it was also on this date in 1872, in defiance of the law, suffragist Susan B. Anthony voted for the first time and was later fined $100. Wow,
That's a lot of money back then.
that was a lot of money back then, as part of the women's suffrage in the United States.
George B. Selden was granted the first U.S. patent for the automobile on this date in 1895.
And on November 5th, 1986, USS Rents, USS Reeves, USS Oldendorf visited Wendigo. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Qingdao, China for the first time. The U.S. naval is the first U.S. naval visit in China since 1949.
It was 18 years ago today that China's first lunar satellite, Chang'e-1, went into orbit around the moon. I remember that. Hey, we were doing a podcast about that. Maybe we said, maybe it launched during our podcast.
Yeah. That same date in 2013, India launched the Mars orbital mission, its first interplanetary probe.
We call it MOM, the Mars Orbiter mission.
Right. Hey, Mom, how you doing? Just call Mom. See how she's doing.
Not the one from Futurama.
Yeah. Let's call Mom and see how she's doing.
Hello, dearies. Happy birthday goes out on this date to French mathematician and astronomer philosopher Louis Bertrand Castel, born on this date in 1688.
And born November 5th, 1900, American actress Natalie Schaefer.
American actor Armin Shimmerman is 76. Quark!
Armin Shimmerman. And also born on that same date.
Quark!
Happy birthday. Also born on that same date in 1982, American computer scientist and programmer, co-founder of Pounce.
Pounce.
I'm not familiar with Pounce.
Me neither.
Leah Culver. Wow.
I thought it was worth celebrating. It's like POWNCE. Does anybody remember Pounce?
I think that was that. Wasn't that the service you would go download music for free?
Or the one that and you paid in flues. All right, let's get the band out of here.
Oh, so Pounce was a social networking site. Okay.
How'd that go?
Oh, you know what? I do. I think I vaguely remember this. It was created by Kevin Rose, Leah Culver, and Danielle Burka.
Back to the screensavers with Kevin.
Yeah,
Rose.
it was around the time that Dig. Huh. That's interesting. I've forgotten about that.
All right. Good recall. Oh, we forgot the listener birthdays. We should have played the rest of the music.
Oh my gosh.
Listener birthdays this week include November 5th, Michael Corlett, John Clifford on the 8th, Mark the Encaffeinated one on the 8th. I gotta get the birthday bot fixed in online again. We got some work to do. And John Noble from the island on the 10th. So happy birthday to all of you. I am working frantically on getting all our bots up and running again. I did some major restructuring down to the table level.
Hey, did you? I'm sure you appreciated the image of me with the bots out back.
Oh yeah, that was good. They're all out back smoking. I just responded, yeah, pretty much. If you're not on our Discord server, you're missing out on some fun stuff.
Yeah, don't forget about the Discord server. So go check it out. You can go to chuckchat.com/Discord.
There's a banner in here for you. You had it last week. I didn't even announce it.
Yeah, so go check it out.
So yeah, a lot of fun. We have a lot of our members in there. If you are having a birthday this weekend, we didn't call your name out. We wish you all the best. And if you want to be on our birthday calendar, well, you can go over to chuckchat.com/birthday. Fill out the form and we'll get you an announcement at the appropriate time of year. It doesn't even have to be like next week. It could be last week and we'll get you next year. So we don't forget.
We time travel like that.
Our bot doesn't forget. It just needs a break.
Yeah, we time travel.
No, we don't. All right, that's the way it was on this history. Let's move on with the news.
Good news, everyone.
Hey, you can't do that. That's my only thing.
Okay, it's 2 weeks in a row. We're going to leave that one alone.
I like hearing him. Yeah, just
It's
fist
all
on the
frustrating.
desk.
All right, mathematical proof
Oh,
debunks the idea that the universe is a computer simulation. I didn't read it that way, that the mathematical proof was there. It said, drawing on mathematical theorems related to the incompleteness and indefinability, we demonstrate that a fully consistent and complete description of reality cannot be achieved through computation alone, explains Dr. Mir Faisal, adjunct professor and UBC Okanagan's Irving K. Barber Faculty of Science. That is a hell of a long title.
mhm.
It requires non algorithmic understanding, which by definition is beyond algorithmic computation and therefore cannot be simulated. Hence, the universe cannot be a simulation.
Well, that settles it. All right, move on.
There you are. Take that, you crazy theory.
Not
Conspiracy
what did he
theories.
say? What'd you say he called it? Non-algorithmic.
Non algorithmic. I had a flashback to high school this morning. Today at the church we
Did you get-
celebrated All
Wait a minute,
Saints Day.
did you get beat up again?
No. It was a very nerdy flashback.
Yeah.
All right. People who have taken like algebra classes and even some
Mhm.
pre-calc stuff will appreciate this one.
Okay.
Uh the day after Halloween is All Saints Day.
Right.
Well, we celebrated it this morning on November 2nd. So it was All Saints weekend, I guess. The name of our church is All Saints Lutheran Church. One of the songs we sang in church was called For All the Saints. And my brain went, wait a minute, there's a mathematical symbol. It's an upside down A. And when you see that, it's for all the elements of a set. So I crossed out the words in my bulletin that said for all, and they said the saints, and I just wrote upside down A.
Oh,
There's another one, an upside down E, which there exists. So yeah, I still remember some of those crazy things from math. So that was just one of those weird things like, hey, wait a minute. For all the saints, for all. I mean, it kind of sounds like a computer thing. And yes, there are really, really close ties between computer science and mathematics. And that always baffled me when I was a youngster. It's like, why are all the computer courses tied in with math? And why are all the math professors teaching computers and making it not fun?
right. Yeah, no kidding.
Then it dawned on me when I learned about mathematical functions. I went, oh, this is just like a function on the computer. Oh, I get it now.
Yeah. Oh,
It's not, Dark Helmet. It's not that Darth Vader was modeled after Dark Helmet. It was the other way around.
it was like when I was programming and understood about classes
Yes.
and objects and stuff, and I'm going, wow, the world is just a big object, and
And made up of lots of subclasses.
yeah,
Wait,
yeah, exactly.
does everything extend from the atom class?
Oh, now we're getting deep. Yeah.
And quantum mechanics, you can't classify.
No, we don't have the memory for that.
You quantum computing, you check the value of a property and it's not a property anymore. Oh, there it is. No, wait.
Yeah.
Once you observe it, then the property value is set.
I was like, I've joked about the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy on Infocom, and you could put in your inventory no tea. So when you check your inventory, it says no tea.
That's what we need in the fridge when I get the fridge
Yes.
spot back online.
Give me the properties of this. It's not an object. What? It is an object. It's not an object.
Okay, second article on
Mhm.
to NASA. NASA completes its first flight of the supersonic jet. They're bringing back a supersonic jet, Craig.
Wow.
This thing looks like a stretched out
Yeah.
F-15-ish.
Very much so. Yeah.
And maybe I don't know if this is an artist rendering or a real diagram, but it's the X-59 experimental supersonic jet. And the idea is in 1973, they shut down supersonic flights. There was a ban
Yeah.
on supersonic flights over the United States starting April 27, 1973, in response to concerns about property damage and noise pollution.
But
But recently, our illustrious leader ordered the FAA to remove the ban. And in June of 2025, as part of an executive order, now there's urgency to NASA and Lockheed Martin to get to work on the X-59 and an opportunity to apply what they learned to, quote, inform the
Well-
establishment of new data-driven. They said, you probably won't be hearing sonic booms because this will be going faster than the speed of sound. They said you probably hear more of a sonic thump.
Yeah, that was the butt I was talking about. They said that it can fly faster than Mach 1 without the sonic boom, which is kind of amazing.
Interesting engineering. I don't know. I didn't get a clear indication of if and when they would be bringing this to the civilian sector for commercial flights, but I think that's one of the targets. It's not just for military.
Yeah,
So
it's
we
pretty
might
cool though.
we might
Yeah, I
get a Concorde V2 in our lifetime.
Yeah, wouldn't that be cool? I would. Didn't I say a documentary on the Concorde, and it was talking about all the champagne parties that were going on the plane itself, because they would always deal out champagne, and it was almost like a social event to fly on.
Well, I'm sure being on that plane was an event.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
It
I
was
mean,
a pricey event, but it was an event.
Yeah, and all I know, the story we talked about, if I recall correctly, was they had brought one out of storage for a anniversary flight. I think it was.
They're banned from flying since they grounded them. Like
It was an
25 years
anniversary
ago.
flight. It wasn't like they were all doing all the time.
Anyway,
Yeah.
on to our hacks and strange stories, which I like this one. You ever drive by somebody's house, especially down here in the Southwest, and they have like an old wagon wheel stuck in the ground?
Hey, do you know where I live? Yes, I've seen them all the
Here in
time.
the Southeast, this is probably the Southwest. Well, this guy used it as the flywheel on his dynamometer.
Hey, Chuck, those wagon wheels weren't intentionally put there. That's where the wagon stopped. At one point.
Guy's riding along another 3 miles. Oh, that's where I lost it.
Yeah, we're here.
I want it back.
Yeah.
So this guy named Lou built a DIY dyno. Now he's got the basics. You can kind of see it in this picture. It's a big wooden frame of 6x6s. And he said this wagon wheel wasn't exactly in balance. So he put some bolts and washers to kind of balance it out with as wheel weights. And once he got it balanced, he hooked it up to his electronics. He's got some Hall effect sensors in there, tell it how
Mhm.
fast it's going around. And there's a little microcontroller that responds over to his phone. And then that's where you get all the colorful charts and whatnot.
Yeah.
But he said in order for it not to fly apart, he had to gear it down like 7-to-1 or 1-to-7, whatever it was, to
7 to
slow
1.
it down.
Mhm.
That way it was still going quite fast. So he put up some kind of cage around this thing in case it decides to let loose.
Yeah.
But he said the whole thing cost about $500, which was far cheaper than I don't know how much time he spent calibrating this thing. That must have taken a while.
I would imagine so. Because especially trying to get the weights right,
Yeah.
I mean,
Because if you don't, that thing's going to wobble and shake and rip itself apart.
yeah, I mean, it's easy enough to do in a tire shop. I've seen them doing it on my tires before, where
Mhm.
oh, here's where the weight goes, and they snap it on.
Right.
But this is a little different when it doesn't look like much weight on all the little bolts. So you gotta, go calibrate the whole thing. He had to spend some time on that.
Pretty amazing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Cool stuff, Lou. There's a video in the show notes if you want. You go over to Technorama, chuckchat.com, drill into our Technorama show notes, episode 787. And you can find them there. We have one more. This reminds me of something that I see on the Action Retro YouTube channel.
I thought you would appreciate this. one.
Yeah, making YouTube work in a Netscape 4.5 browser on Windows 98.
Yeah.
And I didn't watch the entire video, but the first part is pretty funny. He does an unboxing of a sealed copy of Netscape Communicator,
I've had a sealed copy of that before.
and he dumps it out. And the first thing that comes out is this big book that says "Idiot's Guide to the Internet."
I think.
And
Hey, wait a minute. I think some people could use that today.
he's flipping through and it says, "What? Kevin Mitnick is stealing my credit cards?" Because that's the name of one of the sections in the chapter.
Yeah.
This thing is so old, Craig. It doesn't support HTTPS. So you had to have a
Oh,
proxy get
yeah,
in
that's
there.
right.
He says,
Yeah.
aren't there any insecure websites out there anymore? It was
Host your
kind of
own.
funny. It was kind of funny at first, and then eventually he sets up his proxy and he gets this thing working. I mean, he forgot to uncheck what was it, like Real Player and something else during the installation, and it
Oh,
demanded you configure your modem. He says, "I don't have a modem. Can't you just tell this thing to use TCP/IP?" And then there's this quick start guide that says for LAN configured computers. Like,
yeah, LAN
LAN.
or WAN.
I just
Yeah.
going back into this time machine of this wasn't that long ago, at least
No.
for me anyway.
Yeah. Hey, dude, when was the last time you ever used the terms LAN and WAN?
Um, a long time ago,
Yeah.
about as long ago as information superhighway.
I don't I don't even think I mean, I knew what the difference is, but I don't think I've ever really used that so much,
Or
you
how
know.
about intranet? Nobody uses that anymore.
Well, that was no, not anymore, but that was the basis of me getting hired at my previous job, intranet.
At the car wash?
Yes, they needed an intranet.
As a dishwasher?
No, the law firm I worked at. Actually, they that's why they hired me because they got a huge quote. It was a big quote on developing an intranet. And they were like, I think we could probably do better. And the idea was they would bring me on not just to do that, but I was building other applications over time, for specialized things. So I did build the intranet, but I also built some specific applications to different areas of in the law firm, s- uh, and really automated a lot of stuff. So yeah, it was actually pretty forward thinking for them to do that, I think.
This is pretty funny. If you want, watch the video. It's about 45 minutes long, so grab a bucket of popcorn and enjoy yourself with that one.
And I know we're running along, but I'm gonna and actually I should probably put it in. I'll talk about it in the Geek Library. Go ahead. Let's move along.
All right. Quick shout out to the chat room. This will be quick. It's Mike Robinson. Hey. We hope
Yay!
you can join us on Sunday nights at 8:30 Eastern time. We'd love to see you hang out with us. Come join in the fun, and we'll have something for you next time. How about that? I don't know what it is. We'll have something because people keep saying the show is something.
That's what I hear.
Shout out to our patrons real quick. Thank you to Alexis Duran, Amber Elstad, Amy Bowen, Abner Braverman, Ben Vaughn, Brad Miller. Some of these people have birthdays coming up this week. Brian Brown, Chris Martinez, Chris MC, Dandy Man Coyer, Dean Jensen, Denise Inglis, Gary Lindros, Jason Pollard, John Clifford, John Noble. Happy birthday. Jorga Schrauen, Crazy Joe, Kyle Nishioka, Leon, Mark Kilfoyle, Mike Wills, Saturday Morning Media, Stephen Weshy, Steve Cody, Steve Therian, Steve Webb, Steve London, Sylvain Resico, and Tim Cook. Happy birthday. And Sylvain had a birthday just this past Saturday.
Yes,
No, Friday.
that's right.
Halloween.
Yep.
So happy birthday to all of you. No, that's not the birthdays. This is the Patreons. If you want to be a patron, you go over to patreon.com/Technorama podcast, or sooner or later, I'm going to create a chuckchat.com/Patreon link. But we need to migrate chuckchat.com off of the old server onto the new one. It's the last
No.
vestige we have. And I keep getting alerts that somehow we're exceeding our outbound web traffic. So I really want to get us
Everybody
off
in the
that.
world is downloading our episodes.
Right. If only. Yeah, that wouldn't happen unless Adam Savage made a social media post about it.
Guess what? Our next guest, Jesus.
Followed by George Washington. He invented the internet.
Yeah, he did.
All right. So that's it. Patreon.com/Technorama podcast. For as little as $1 a show, you get your name read out in the air. You get a special room on the Discord server. You get postcards whenever Craig and I travel, and there's levels up from that. So what more could you ask for? We have a lot of fun with that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go over here. It's not going to be a drinking game every time we mention the Discord server. Media Corner, which looks like that button. That's it. This isn't Media Corner. This you messed up again. These go and pass me the remote.
Hey, what's the difference?
The
Really?
Media Corner is where we
What's the difference? Really? Come on.
pass me the remote is the part where we talk about what we've been watching, listening, and reading.
Well, here we are in the media corner. And we're talking about what we've been
No,
watching.
it's the right music.
Oh,
You're gonna have to copy and paste that one.
bing.
Go
There-
ahead. You start. I gotta tie my shoe.
All right. So let's see. Oh, finished watching Only Murders in the Building. The last episode aired this last week, and it was quite entertaining. I like that
They're
show because
releasing that weekly. I thought
Yeah,
that
they
was
do. A
binge
lot of-
worthy stuff.
yeah, they do. They do it weekly. I have to say I really enjoy it. Martin Short and Steve Martin themselves are goofy enough. But the episodes, the whole thing is, it has a little slight goof to the whole murder as they're trying to figure it out, and it's fun to watch. So all the characters involved, we watched it, and I think we enjoyed this season, the wife and I. So there you go. You want me to go to the next one?
Go to the next one.
All right. Here was a favorite, to be honest with you. I love John Candy. I know a lot of people do. The documentary I Like Me came on Prime on the 10th, I think it was. We were on October 10th, and we were going on vacation, so we didn't get to see it until now. And it is fantastic. I learned a few things about John Candy I didn't know before, but a lot of it you do know because he was very much in the public eye when he was with us. And what a great personality to catch up on. So definitely go check that out. I Like Me, the John Candy thing. And the Chair Company I started watching. All right, so Tim Robinson, he's had a show on Netflix, which is the what was the name of it? It was a comedy show. I Think You Should Leave. Have you ever seen that? Did you see that?
No.
Okay. It's a very dark sense of humor, and Tim Robinson has this weird dark sense of humor. He also was in the movie Friends,
Mhm.
or Friends with what's his name? Paul Rudd. His name escaped me. And it also had that same kind of sense of humor. And now he's in a show called The Chair Company. And The Chair Company, he's discovering a little bit of a conspiracy in the company he's with. And they're releasing it also, I think, weekly. There's about 3 episodes up there, at least the last time I checked. And it's, like I said, it's kind of weird and dark, but I kind of like that sense of humor of his. So I would certainly recommend that if you like Tim Robinson. So there you go.
All right. I've just got a couple. Donna and I finished up the final season. I don't think I even mentioned that we were watching this, but we watched all 5 seasons of Orphan Black, a BBC show that's been on Netflix. Very good stuff. I remember starting to watch it. I think I got through season 1, but we watched pretty much everything. Very enjoyable. Gets into some deep, dark places sometimes. Quite a bit of violence. Some of it not so good. It's about cloning and extending life and the ethics of some of that. And it's all played. There's at least 7, 8, 9 different parts played by the same actress, Tatiana
Maslany, I think is right.
And she does an awesome job. And I can't even imagine how they did some of these things. You go, oh, that's, motion control. They could just film her doing this, then they change costume and do that. But some of them, they're in really close proximity, like sitting on the bed together How do you
Mhm.
make a dent for somebody who's not there? You know,
Yeah.
it just it really, from a production standpoint, it was amazing. The writing was good, the acting was good, the characters were all well fleshed out, and just when you thought you had it figured out, you didn't.
Yeah.
So, it
Kim
was a very good show.
Kim watched it and she said she loved it. And now for some reason I just never did pick up on it and watch it. So I'm gonna have to go back and watch it
Yep,
myself.
good stuff. Also watched a classic. I mentioned this one in the, Pass Me the Remote channel on the Discord. We have them named very similar to what we do here. That's why you have to call it Pass Me the Remote.
Yeah.
I
Right.
I was just flipping through Netflix, and I don't know if it was because of Halloween or because of
Mm.
things I've watched in the past, but all of a sudden, you know how they flip up the trailer and you're watching like this lead in for something?
Yeah.
And it was Night of the Living Dead from 1968.
Right. Yes. I've
And I
seen
went,
that before.
I've heard of this. I've never watched it. The the trailer looked really cheesy. They have this brother and sister. They're going to visit dad's grave in the graveyard, and the brother is teasing, "They're coming for you, Barbara." And uh, it took a little muscle to get through the movie, uh, but the tropes that started, I'm pretty sure this was the start of a lot of things around zombies that we
Yes.
think of today. That's kinda why I wanted to watch it, is that if it's that classic, like, zombies move slow. The zombies didn't eat just the brains, though, they ate any flesh, and if you got bitten by a zombie, you turned into a zombie.
Mhm.
They only these ones only came out at night, but you had to shoot them in the head to kill them. Like, okay, this is fascinating stuff. This is like action action comics number 1 for Superman. What did they get right and what wasn't quite right? They were afraid of fire. What was there were some other things that were like, "Ooh, we don't really do that anymore." But, the characters in this film were, I'd almost say, painted on in some cases. Uh, you've
Hmm.
got you got Barbara, who is just shocked that, somebody attacked her, knocked her brother down, and you find out, oh, it's a zombie, and the zombie's chasing her, and she's running, running. Of course, she has to fall a couple of times as she's running through the woods, running across this field, comes to an abandoned farmhouse, goes in the house, and she can't even talk. Well, this other guy drives up, and his truck just happens to die right then and there.
Right.
He takes charge and he's boarding up all the windows and whatnot. And suddenly these two guys come up from the basement, like after everything's already been sealed up.
Yeah.
He's like, "You didn't hear us up here? Well, we didn't know. We thought you could be attacked." So there's one guy who just will not take responsibility for anything, complains about everything.
Oh, yeah.
And oh,
There's always one of those guys.
what was the name of the comedian from like the 70s? Um, I can see his face and it's on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember. Bald head guy, um, that would always do some of that, complaining kind of comedy. Not George. Anyway,
Oh, no.
I'll figure it out after we're done here. But that's who he reminded
As
me
soon as
of.
we stop recording, we'll be like, "Oh, it's so and so."
Yeah, probably. But it was interesting from a historical perspective, but man, this was Mystery Science Theater
Yeah.
gold.
I did. I did the same thing you did a few years ago. I remember seeing that. I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna watch that." And yeah, you were like, "It's it's thin and it's rough," but it was um the gold standard for zombie movies, or at least establishing the lore.
Maybe it was in the 60s. It wasn't Carlin. It wasn't Dangerfield. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find
Here,
it.
hey, Google bald 70s comedian.
We're trying to find it while we're recording our show. It's not fine. Not Ronan Martin. Anyway,
That's all right. Let's move along.
let's move along. Two things in the Geek Library. We have one for the Brickley engine, which is
Yeah.
a cleaner, more efficient gasoline engine. and
I was
fascinating video.
Mhm. Go ahead.
I'm just surprised it had so little views. Something's up. I'm not sure why this isn't being
Well, it
taken
just came out.
seriously.
It
I
just
I
came
would
out October 5th.
October 5th.
Yeah.
It's been out for a month and it's got like 7,000 views. You think with news like this, it would have like 7 million views or something.
Well, the guy only has 76 subscribers, but
Right. That's what else I saw. I'm like,
however, watching I think there's an article I should have linked to, but that showed this video. But I'm watching, I was like, oh, this is interesting. And he changed the efficiency of combustion engine, internal combustion engine.
25% improvement.
Yeah, just by changing what was it? It was
Don
changing.
Rickles. Don
Huh?
Rickles. That's who it was.
Oh, Don Rickles.
The guy in
Um,
the basement reminded me of Don Rickles.
he
You
doesn't
gonna
look
lock
anything
that
like
door?
Don Rickles.
He did look like Don Rickles.
I'm sorry. 9 Living Dead, not this guy.
Not a living dead. No, not this guy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wait a minute. But he just changed uh the friction of the moving part. It reduced the friction inside the combustion engine, and it changed the output, and it got 25% more output. And I thought it was like, wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
And he listed some other things that he wanted to do as well that could even give it better. But it's just that we've gotten in such a cycle. I think as his point was, we've gotten in such a cycle of, hey, we're just cranking out internal combustion machines and not working on fine tuning them over the years, but mass production and just, hey, let's get these out. And he focused on some of that, some of those changes, and ended up making a better engine, which I thought was really cool.
Yep.
Anyway,
And then you snuck one in on here. I didn't see it before.
yeah.
Panasonic's Mr. Thin CIA
Okay.
spy radio.
All right. So this is from, I've talked about this guy before. His website, or his channel, Tech Moan, which I know he's in the UK, so I don't know where the name comes from, but Tech Moan. He'll go and he'll buy some old devices and talk about the story of, their history in the past.
Mhm.
He was talking about these Panasonic Mr. Thin radios, and they're super thin radios. The early one had like FM. I think it had AM, FM at the beginning, and then they added a clock to it, and then they added a calculator to it over time, and now he even bought whatever AM, FM radio that Panasonic had on their website, and it was not Mr. Thin. It was just but it's
Mr. Brick.
yeah, pretty much. But it was pretty much a solid AM FM radio. But one of the stories he was talking about was, I think it was in Poland. There was a CIA spy that was walking around trying to get into a building, and he got busted. And they were like, "Oh, why would you have this on you? Nobody's seen this thin radio before, so small." And he said that he brought it from home and it was just his, and you know, but it turns out he was using it to monitor their communications, because in Europe, the frequencies that security would use was like in that just over the 108 megahertz, which this
Mhm.
radio would let you dial into. And he had a piece of tape over the tuning dial so it wouldn't change, and he could listen in on the security. And he tried to tell them, I was just listening to an AM radio station, but he had it in the FM setting, and he had that piece of tape over the tuning dial to keep it from moving, so he could monitor security. If somebody says, "Hey, there's a guy walking around on the grounds," he would know to leave at that. Yeah, it was, that part was interesting, but I like the huh.
I'll have to watch it.
Yeah, you should watch that. This is one of he always puts out like 30-minute videos.
Mhm.
This is the kind I would here in my office. I'd turn my chair around and watch it on the TV, like Sunday morning with some coffee, and just enjoy watching. He does a good job breaking down all these old devices. when per se break him down, like talking about the history of it. And he had talked about one, I think I mentioned on this show. It was an 8-track. Yeah, it was an 8-track player, and it was kind of fascinating to hear about the history. So this guy does good work. I would subscribe to him. He's good.
All right. That brings us to the end. We have another question of the week for you that we'll be posting all over the place, so keep an eye out for it. What mundane, everyday task do you desperately wish science would invent a solution for?
Getting my beer out of the fridge.
Spoiler alert, they probably already have.
Maybe.
Walk
Never
the
know.
dog.
Walk the dog.
Clean up the cat puke.
Did you see that video this week of the robot that was supposed you could pre-order and bring it in your house? It showed it doing dishes and all kinds of stuff. Did you see that this week?
No.
Well, it turns out that it's like mostly fake, where to do all those tasks, the robot's capable of doing them, which is interesting, that in itself is great. But there's a person doing the robot, operating the robot remotely. So, so it's like hiring somebody on a Zoom call to do things in your house.
That doesn't scale.
For 20 grand. I was like,
That doesn't scale well.
yeah, it was kind of douchey, if you want to say, where the guy was
Yeah.
the guy's in a chair reading a magazine or something, and he finishes his cup, goes, "Can you take this to the sink?" And the robot walks over, grabs his little cup, and walks off with it to take it to the sink. I'm like, you spent 20 grand for a robot to take a cup, put it in the sink for you. And it's really
the dishwasher. Determine if the dishwasher's full, then start the dishwasher.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
that's the paid upgrade. Right now, you just have to put it in the sink version.
Yeah. I mean, it looked it's capable of doing these things, but not autonomously.
Right.
And I thought that was funny.
Some people just have too much money. Not me.
Not that kind of money. No.
That brings us to the end of the show because we don't have too much money. Let's get on out of here.
So speaking of Patreon,
speaking of Patreon, you can get a hold of us on the listener line, 707-530-2428. We'd love to hear from you. Or email us, technorama@chuckchat.com. Find us on social media. Just search for Technorama Podcast. You'll find us. We're out there. This isn't a problem. Right there. Ding. Oh, it's almost that time of year too, where Grant points at the bottom of the screen and money shows up.
That's
I'm
right.
trying it, but it doesn't work.
Cha-ching.
Nah, whatever. Get in touch with us. Visit the Discord server. chuckchat.com/Discord. That's it. We're going to get there. We'll get this right maybe about show 800. Till then, give me a binary high five.
All right. 101.
Hour and 8 minutes. Okay. We are going to stop the video feed, go record our Patreon show, and see you all next time.
Kind of felt like 8 hours and 1 minute.
Well, the first week felt like 2 weeks, but then the next 3 days, well, they only felt like 2 days. Sorry.
All right.
Steve Martin reference. Bye. Take care. Stay safe.